This initially came across the desk when it was under the inconspicuous but very exciting title of Untitled Kathryn Bigelow Project.
There's many reasons to want to do this film, but was working with Kathryn Bigelow maybe at the top of your list?
I was definitely thrown aback at how nice and just sweet and giving she was, just as a person, not even on set.
It's funny, she does have a very calming presence, which is interesting because her movies stress me out so much.
The opportunity to be part of something that made such an astute and unfortunately accurate, comment on the times that we find ourselves in. It was just very exciting to be a part of that.
We table read it together, and what was interesting while table reading it, we're learning the information as we're reading it. As we're trying to also, next line coming up, accurately give this back so you guys can hear what needs to be adjusted. Found myself standing in the bathroom looking at myself going, man, you're not doing enough.
I think there were moments during that table read where we were looking up at each other and sharing in the surprise and the shock that we didn't know this story. I've played less than likable characters in the past, but to play someone who, you can't identify with in any respect and someone that you don't have any respect for was challenging. And when you're looking to construct a racist character, that comes in the many, ugly ways that racism has reared its head recently, with fascist groups, literally walking the streets and being able to freely demonstrate.
And I believe you were able to actually meet and talk to Dismukes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to speak to him in depth about what he went through, but also just about him growing up, who he was as a person. And it's not every day you get the opportunity to get the blueprint, essentially, to your character. And
I believe one of the women portrayed in the movie at the Algiers Hotel was actually on set with you guys?
Yeah, I think Julie's consultation on the film was integral to its success, and she exercised an unbelievable amount of bravery just to be there. I can't imagine, for a second what it's like to, first of all, go through something like that, survive it, and then step back onto set where it's being recreated and be brave enough to provide comment and actually, help support the process.
We did a Q&A during the premiere. Someone asked her, how did you not break down? And she said she did break down. It was the courtroom scene.
Really?
That actually, reminded her of how little justice there was.
Mm-hmm. I would say I remember the interrogation scene with Dismukes and the two detectives. That was actually the first week of filming for me. I didn't have the beginning stages of Dismukes' character and the scenes to warm up to that moment. And I remember Kathryn just putting her headphones down and looking at me and saying, yeah, John, we're gonna have to go and do the interrogation scene because the bloody ACs are making a whole lot of noise and this is the only room that we can use.
I'm reluctant to talk about how difficult I found it because, of course, for the recipients of the abuse I was responsible for, it was undoubtedly much worse. I was relying on immense bravery from the people opposite me to endure what my character inflicted. Whatever difficulty we're facing as actors is going to pale in comparison to the victims, and there's no better reminder of that than when someone like Julie is on set. One of the great things about Detroit now is it's now represented by one of the most diverse police forces in the country, highest number of people of color and greatest number of women in the US. The critical reception is great, but yeah, I think if we're gonna talk about the metric of a film's success, for me, it's characterized by things like that, where through real world application, your film is succeeding.